You're listening to The Ochoman Behind the Eight Ball, only on Ignotainment. Without further ado, the one, the only, Ochoman.
Hey, it's January 7, 2015, my friends. Hey, big show coming at you here. I got my partner here, Chris.
How we doing, Ochoman?
Oh, we're doing all right. I got some sleep last night. I haven't slept in a while. And my in-laws are in house. They've been shacking out with me for the last couple weeks now. It's been pretty good. And last night, the old man loves to play pool. All right, he's from Armenia. I beat him like 10 straight games. I just felt so damn good. I went upstairs and I laid down. He can't play, but it really brings a lot of confidence in me, and I feel good about myself. I could beat up a paraplegic and I'd be happy.
Does he speak English?
No English, which is really good because I can talk shit with my wife and he doesn't understand anything.
You can talk shit right to his face and he doesn't understand.
And another thing to that is he can't understand any words to the movies that we're watching, right? So it's all silent movie. Whenever I go upstairs, I walk by the living room and the TV's on and he's just sitting there. It's silent, and it's kind of creepy sometimes because I'll see a Cinemax on one of those skim flakes, and I go, oh, shit. I don't even want to look on the couch. I just get the hell out of there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So how you been?
I'm good. Just freezing my nuts off here. It's so cold.
Speaking of cold, man, there's going to be some NFL action in Green Bay, and I think it's going to be like single-digit number, like the old Ice Bowl when these two hooked up, the Packers and the Cowboys hooking up. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. What do you think's going to happen there? I'm seeing speculation on both sides.
Well, you know what? I'm a bettor, and I see a lot of trends here, a lot of good trends here. But I'm also part of a conspiracy theory, too. Now, the NFL knows they fucked up on the Detroit Cowboy game.
Yep.
Now, how easy is it to say, now we're going to bring justice back here and they're going to fuck the shit out of the Cowboys?
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think it's going through the minds of a lot of people. Hell, I mean, the President of the United States is talking about that.
I know. What the hell's he got to do with that? With all the shit going on in this world? Like, just today, I was checking out the news here, and I'm not shitting with you. You know India.
Yeah.
India is overpopulated as it is, okay?
That's what I'm told, yeah.
And they got this guy named Sakshi Maharaj. He's a member of the parliament in India, and you know what he's saying?
What's he saying?
He's saying every woman should breed 4 more kids to preserve the Hinduism.
Well, I mean, that's... I know. Dude, I spread that to all my Hindu friends. I mean, what kind of insanity is going on over there?
I mean seriously, you got fucking cows just walking down the neighborhood, and people are starving. That's a fucking ribeye. That's and I know it's a relative and all that shit, but you know what? They taste so damn good. Nice ribeye.
Dreaming of one right now.
Barbecuing that, and oh my God, man! But in any case, I seen that on the news. You catch anything on the news that's been a little disturbing to you?
Yeah. This guy, I don't know if you've heard this story or not. This guy, he's an oil baron. He is, like about half of our compatriots out there. He's in the middle of a divorce, and this guy's loaded. I mean, major.
Beanage, a lot of cash.
He's in the billions, and this guy's getting divorced from his wife. And I will say with this one, she's not the typical 19-year-old. Floozy along for the ride. She's actually, she's a lawyer and was an executive. But this guy, now think about this. This guy offers this gal $975 million, writes the check out.
What?
$975 million to settle this divorce.
Not 975,000.
975 million. And she says no.
She says
she turns it down. She returns the check. It was a handwritten check.
Oh my God, 975 million bucks.
The value, the value on the line where they had to write the amount out was so long it had to take up 2 lines.
Holy shit, man!
Well,
what the fuck does she want?
She wants more. They all want more.
Well, what are you gonna do with more?
They all want more. It's on both sides. I guess I shouldn't just generalize it, but everybody wants more. That's the problem. Everybody wants more of everything. It's
$975 million. Remember the movie Jerk when the head starts spinning around?
Exactly. Could you imagine what you do with that kind of scratch?
I would like 975 big ones. And he's thinking it's $975.
If you would have said something to our parents, our grandparents 40, 50 years ago, that someone was going to be offering someone $975 million as a divorce settlement, and they were going to turn it. They would have said you were crazy. This shit, this is exactly how we end up with fucking Honey Boo Boo on the TV. It's never enough for people.
No,
it's never enough.
Well, you know what? Speaking of not enough, too, we got an NFL team, the St. Louis Rams. They may become the L.A. Rams again, which, you know what? I don't really mind. It's supposed to be L.A. Rams. I never got used to saying St. Louis Rams. I know they've been there for like 20 years or so, but it's still, man, you got to think about it. It's Los Angeles Rams back at home.
Well, I think that's half the issue. In the St. Louis, the market there, or actually the market here, I don't think the majority of the people who live here see the St. Louis Rams as the St. Louis Rams, or even, I don't think they care for the most part. There's a handful select people who are big fans. They go to the games, but it's just, if this was Green Bay, there'd be riots.
Okay.
If this was Dallas, there'd be riots.
I understand that, but here's the concept with me here. The Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers, teams like this have got a tradition of winning too. Okay, I know the Cowboys haven't in a while, but I'm telling you that these teams are just golden. They're like that golden goose. So my thinking on this is, if you prove yourself as a winner, the people will buy into it.
Absolutely.
They'll buy into that program. But you know what? You haven't brought anything to show to the people here, to the fans, that, hey, we want to win. So, it works both ways is what I'm saying.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. They haven't seen that from, the team on the field. They haven't seen it from the ownership, the executives. And we've stuck with a subpar facility for the history of this team. The facility, the dome here, always been shit. Shittiest place in the world to see a football game. You're 100 times better off, sitting at Hot Shots watching it than you are at the game. It just sucks.
Yeah, Hot Shots is a bar. What is it, a sports bar? Yeah. Another thing too is Kroenke. He's been really low profile, but you know what? His kid went to Mizzou. His kid went to. You're laughing about this. Well, you got a smile on your face. Well, what about his kid?
I've had a few interactions with this guy. And stepping back for a second, the most amazing thing about this whole deal with the Rams being here, Rams going to L.A., Stan Kroenke, the field where it's going to be, the stadium, the winner in this whole deal, all of it, it's not L.A., it's not St. Louis, it's not Stan Kroenke with his stacks of money. It's Josh Kroenke, who's Stan Kroenke's son. Josh Kroenke. This guy, now think about this, okay? You're 33 years old, 32, 33 years old, okay? You went to Mizzou, starter on the basketball team.
Was he a starter?
He was a starter. He was a starter on the basketball team.
Damn.
And I say starter loosely, I guess. He was his senior year he started. And in all reality, I will say that everyone that I ever knew in the athletic department at the University of Missouri.
Now, you went there.
I did. I was at the University of Missouri the exact same time he was. I think he was a year older than I was, but it was the same era. Everyone that I've ever spoke to in the athletic department there, or who had any interactions with him, said the guy was, legitimately the hardest working guy on the team. Honestly, yeah.
And it's so easy with your dad being a billionaire to coach Might have got a couple bucks from him on the side on that one. Was he a legit starter?
Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, he started, in his senior year. He started. He was not a legit starter. He was the Hoken white guy on the team.
Okay.
Slow, but everybody loved him.
Yeah.
All the guys loved him because he had, the giant mansion up the street that they could party at. That was 3 miles from the campus. Yeah. But the guy was my neighbor.
No shit.
Yeah, and I lived in I guess it was my second year at the University of Missouri. The complex I lived in, he was my neighbor, and so we had some interesting run-ins.
Come on,
man. There's one story. You just
talk to me, babe.
It sounds unbelievable, but it actually happens. So this guy, he's dating this girl, and I'm sure, as you can imagine, just absolutely smoking hot, beautiful.
Damn right. All that cash, you better have a smoking hot chick. I'm not bringing a fat broad to my house having all that money.
You can imagine what your dad would say. You can imagine how disappointed. I've worked my ass off to make billions of dollars, and you bring home some fat chick.
This chick?
Over with.
Come on.
But anyway,
all right, go on.
So he's dating this guy. I think they were together for like a year. I don't know what it was. Decides. I think
she's thinking it's getting serious.
I think in her mind it was a lot more serious than it was in his mind. Obviously, because he was the one who ended up ending it. But in all fairness to him, I don't think that he understood how serious that she really thought it was. So
1 year, getting thrown on the bed, doggy style, every night, and you're like a farm animal to him. Exactly. You're calling your mom and dad. Exactly. Me and Josh are hanging out. We just took a photo together, and I mean, come on. So the chick's thinking they're serious.
Oh, well, I mean, and she's met the family. She's been to the games with him. The other Mizzou games.
Wears the jersey.
Yeah.
The Letterman jacket.
And I can see how he would have been easily fooled because she was a nice girl. You wouldn't. She seemed like a nice girl. Okay, let's say her name was Anna. Okay, it's obviously I'm not going to use her real name. Let's call her.
Why are we
Anna.
calling? That's my wife's name.
Okay, let's call her Alice. Okay,
Alice.
Let's call her Alice.
All right, but that's not a hot name. Can I name Barbie?
Yes. Okay, she's now Barbie. Okay, so
right. Barbie.
He sort of ends it with her. They go their separate ways. He doesn't think anything of it.
Oh, so they split up now?
Yeah, split up. So 4 weeks down the road, he's out, out on the town. He's
got another fluff.
He's got another one, and I'm sure by this time they're just stacking up in his apartment. He had so many of them.
Oh, God, I can imagine.
3 a.m, he brings her home, heading up the stairs. You got to understand there, you walked into these complexes. It was a main floor with your living room and everything. Go up to the bedrooms. He's bringing her up the stairs to the bedroom, Clothes are starting to fall to the floor. It's getting hot and heavy.
Flying off. Oh, God.
Champagne, lots of cocktails.
I'm right there, Josh.
Move into the bedroom. I mean, it's about to happen. Like, there's movement towards the bed.
Oh, yeah.
And at this point, out of nowhere, here comes Barbie from underneath the bed.
Holy Jumanji.
This bitch had broken in to his apartment hours earlier. Hours. I'm talking like 5 hours earlier.
And just sat there and waited?
Just laid in waiting like a spider under the bed.
Shit.
For him to come home. Yeah, for him to come home. Jumps out with a knife. A butcher knife from underneath the bed.
This is for real.
Hand to God. For real.
No
Absolutely
shit.
happened. Scared the guy.
Did he talk to you about this or what?
Yeah, I mean, he talked. It was it became a joke to everyone, and the girl, obviously humiliated. Oh, I was drunk. I'm like,
by the way, who the fuck's gonna date Barbie after this?
Well, I think she headed out to the West Coast, and no one's heard from her since. I had stayed in contact with some people who knew her, and I don't think anybody hears from Barbie.
She didn't change her name to Anna.
Yeah, she.
Did she?
Man,
because I got an Anna that I met out in the West Coast.
Yeah, she, there's this whole Anna Barbie thing now is completely fucking confusing me. But anyway, she's crazy, and she scared the shit out of Josh. But Josh is a good guy. I wouldn't say he and I were, we're friends. Actually, if you probably asked me, say, who the fuck is that guy? But I've got a lot of respect for the guy because this guy grew up with. His mom was a billionaire on her own. So was his dad.
Oh.
Owned all these sports franchises. And the guy was a nice guy. He's a humble guy. But
did he just come off of that? I mean, did he just come across like that? But behind closed doors,
well,
he could have said,
sure.
God, I just had to hang out with some more maggots today.
I hate all the I hate all the plebes, all the peasants.
Right.
Servant, bring me my slippers.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That, in any case, his dad's moving the team out there, and that's what we're hearing. I mean, there's a lot of confirmation that there is going to be a movement here.
Yep.
And
he, in the meantime, is now the 32-year-old that owns an NBA franchise and an NHL franchise and a facility. That was the point of the whole story, is that Josh Kroenke is the guy who hit the jackpot through this whole deal, because his dad, ever since assuming majority ownership of the Rams, he can't own sports franchises.
I did not know that.
Else. Yeah, he not able to own, even if it's not an NFL team, he can't own sports franchises outside of the city you own it in, and so he assumed controlling rights of both of those teams at 32 years old.
Shit, I did not know that. You can't own another franchise in a different sport or something like that?
No, yeah. If you if you were to be the owner of the say you own the Jets,
well, how the hell did he do it all this time?
Well, because he was a minority owner. Before he assumed the majority ownership of the Rams, he was a minority owner, so that was okay. He assumed majority ownership, and then he had to start, and it's just sort of happening because it's huge franchises. There's a lot of legalities and stuff that go into place. But anyway, it's starting to take effect that the son is now in control of these franchises.
I got to tell you something. I used to, in high school, I used to act like a rich little guy, and I didn't have shit. I didn't have a pot to piss in, but this is how I did it, man. You got to listen to this one. My fans out there, check this one out. I used to go to the horse track, local track around here in St. Louis called Fairmount Park, and I'd look up on the screen, and I'd find a horse that was like 40-1, 51, hopefully 99-1. I don't know. Not a chance in hell it could win. And I'd see like a couple hot chicks standing in the corner, and I go, hey, I got no one here tonight. My parents are gone. Is there any chance that if my horse wins, can you guys be in the picture with me? And they would really.
That's brilliant.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's
it was
brilliant.
They'd be like, oh, yeah, sure. Which one is your horse? And fucking out pops that Three Stooges horse, that one with the good curved back and shit like that. I go, well, it's that 6 horse out there. And they go, oh,
her name's Fleabag.
Yeah, he's the one that's 40-1.
Yeah.
And I'd go, yeah. He just had a couple bad breaks. That's all. And they go, well, I'm gonna go play it. And I'd be like, no, don't play it. Then you'll curse it. We can't play it now. And they'd buy into it, man. And I'd have a whole conversation that night. I'd buy them a beer. And next thing you know, I've got their phone number and so forth. Obviously, this lie didn't last too long. They finally caught wind that I'm shit. So, but in any case, that's how I maneuvered in high school.
That's the way to do it. Hey, that's the Ocho man.
That's
why I love you.
Well, you know what? When you ain't got shit, you got to make things happen, too.
Exactly.
And that's when I started gambling and so forth. I picked it up and started getting into sports. And, here we are now.
Had a hell of a lot of success with it.
Oh, yeah. Haven't done bad. Done bad. What's your call on this big Jones-Cormier fight that went down? You know what? Personally, I watched the fight.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, what the fuck? We paid $59. Well, I didn't. It was my buddy's house. You always want to go to a buddy's house. All right?
That's the move.
Yeah, you go to your buddy's house, eat his food, of course, and watch this fight. And I tell you what, this Jones guy, he's the champ, and he keeps holding this little guy. I thought he was going to beat the shit out of Cormier. Cormier looked damn good.
He did. He's a stout motherfucker.
Yeah, he really is. And after the fight, I think, a couple days later, I think yesterday, we find out that Jones has checked into a, drug clinic?
Like an inpatient facility for drugs,
Yeah.
He's been skiing the night slopes.
Well, what the fuck was this? Did the UFC allow him to fight like that? Or I don't understand how the fuck this could happen here. How the UFC can say, okay, well, you had a drug problem, but this guy's saying it could have even happened during the fight.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm hearing is that that cocaine is not a substance that is banned under the regulations that they fight under.
Cocaine is okay?
Cocaine, well, that's I don't know if they've said it's okay, but they're saying it's not banned and it does not disqualify him from holding his his championship and from the fight. And you know what? It's almost infuriating anyway, because it's like, now you've got this guy. He was all yacked up out there fighting. At least if you're gonna snort some lines before you go fight, show a fucking fight. It was weak. It was, it was bullshit. You get all this build up.
The Cormier guy was, I tell you what, this Daniel Cormier, he really wanted the tango.
Yeah.
I really thought that he wanted to go, and this guy, Jones, kept holding his arm, and it looked like they were fucking after a while.
And I might be hiding the hand that feeds me here, but it's everything anymore is just all marketing. It's all publicity. It's all hype. And so we have to watch, for weeks and weeks. They do all these stunts where they bring these guys out together to do weigh-ins and press conferences, and they're wanting to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, you get caught up in that, don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah. And then when the time comes for them to actually beat the shit out of each other, they sit around and hold each other up against the fucking ropes for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it's bullshit.
Well, in that case, the cage. And and what we're seeing now, I think 2015 is going to be special in the sense that I think we are going to see a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
I think so. I think we have to.
I think the crowd's hungry for it. I think it's going to happen, man. I really am excited about it. I just hope to God it doesn't become some bullshit carnival type of scene again. As the boxing world, you've had that in the past where you paid big money to watch a big fight, and somehow, some way, a fucking parachute lands in the fucking a ring or some shit like that. You remember that?
Yeah. No. It's what everything is spinning into. It falls back into exactly what we're talking about. Everything has got to be one step further, 1 inch louder. Whatever it is, everything from a hype standpoint and a promotional standpoint, but on the actual fighting side, I would love to hear your input on who you would see as the, it's hard to say, I guess, that Floyd Mayweather's not the favorite in that fight, but I would love to hear the Ochoman's take on this.
Well, if these two hook up, Mayweather and Pacquiao,
yep.
I tell you what, I went to Vegas, and I have seen Pacquiao fight. I think it was Morales. Yeah, it was Morales, and what a hell of a fighter. I mean, Pacquiao is a fucking damn good fighter, and Morales, he hung in there, man. It was a beautiful fight.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I think that when these two hook up, it's not going to be any bullshitting around.
Yeah,
they're gonna decide it, because there's so much buildup now, man.
No,
they may not leave that fucking building if it's a bullshit fight.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, it's I think at this point, especially with the way that boxing is going and the dominance of the UFC, I think it needs something like this. It needs a huge fight like this.
Yeah.
It's especially with Floyd Mayweather. I think you love him, you hate him, but he brings an audience and he brings a lot of people.
Right.
Who
I
love
think
to
both
watch
sides
him.
do.
Yeah.
Both sides do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, I got to tell you this, too. When we're talking about all this, I went and caught a movie called The Gambler.
Oh, how is it?
It's fucking great, man. It is fucking really good. I tell you what, Goodman, he's excellent. I mean, this is a kick-ass movie. If you're a gambler and you got problems, I mean, you're looking at it going, shit, fuck.
I've been there. Yeah.
And you're like, damn it, man. And it's one to really catch right now, because it definitely identifies some of us out there, maybe not to that extreme.
Let's hope.
Yeah. I mean, we've all had problems with our man. I'll just go into that vaguely. But you know what? You always bounce back and you find a big winner, and that's what it's all about. And you know what, Chris? I want the public to know this. I want the people listening out there.
Yeah.
In South America, we got a site called Ocho.com.
Yep.
Okay, it's a gambling site. It's a real cool site, my friends. I mean, I was hired by Ocho.com to just give winners soccer games, basketball, hockey, football games, whatever it is. And it's a South American site. So, you're not going to be able to bet on it in the States or anything like that. But you know what? In South America, Mexico,
Yeah, you're on
it's all yours.
vacation.
Yeah, it's all yours, babe. And I tell you what, they brought me on board with this big salary here. I'm doing great, and I tell you, I just give people winners. And I asked Ocho, why the fuck you want me to give winners? And they're like, hey, you know what? We want people with money in their account there. They're going to spend. They're going to have a good time, and that's what it's all about.
Yep, absolutely.
And
that's a good site. Lots of good information there.
Yeah, so Ocho.com. It's a great site. Anyway, we got some 4 big games coming at you this weekend. All right?
Yeah.
NFL.
Hey, as you're starting this off,
Talk to me.
one thing for everyone to know, as the Ocho Man's going through stuff, if you've got some questions, you got some comments or whatever, on the iTunes store, directly below the area that you're listening to this podcast right now, there's an area for comments, for thoughts. Go on there, leave a reply, leave your comments. If you have a question, you leave the question, your email address. We always reply. But and it it helps us. The comments.
It pays
on there,
the bills,
it
my
does.
friends.
Yep. It makes sure that this this podcast stays available to all of you, so you can get all your picks and make all your money. So
Yeah,
I won't hold you up.
it's like this, Chris. We are not in this for a 1-900 business. I'm not charging people $25 a play or any shit like that. This is for me to keep this iTunes thing going on my podcast. I'd love for you guys just to leave a comment or just a reply, anything that you guys can think of that's going to get my podcast up and running with Ocho Man behind the 8 ball. That's what we need. We need a lot of props here.
Well, yeah, and you can also find the Ocho Man on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. I got
Facebook.com/Ochoman.
about 7,000 followers, man.
Yeah, share, like, subscribe.
Yeah, get on Ocho Man at Facebook and leave a comment there, and I'll get you back on our page on the podcast here.
Yep.
That's what we're trying to do. Anyway, we got some games coming at you here. Baltimore's visiting New England. The Patriots are -7. The over and under is 48 on this one. And I'll get back to this one.
Yeah.
Carolina takes on Seattle. Seattle -11. And the over and under on this one is only 39.5. Kind of low.
Yeah.
Dallas at Green Bay.
Yep. This is the big one.
Old-time foes here, my friend. We're talking about Mayweather and we're talking about Pacquiao. Well, this is a pay-per-view matchup myself. I really like this one. And the weather's going to be in the teens, man.
It's going to be a good game.
It's fucking cold is what I'm saying.
It is, but it's gonna be exciting.
I went to my car and I'm freezing my ass off. It's 17 out there. Just imagine out on the field. That's got to be like a rock.
It's gonna
Playing
be
on
fun,
cement. Green Bay is -6 on this. And shocking enough, Vegas has made this a high-scoring game with the total being 53.
Wow.
That's a high number,
That is
man.
a high number.
And our AFC West Coast game is Indianapolis heads to Mile High Stadium for a big showdown with Denver. Denver is -7. The total on this one, I could see this one being a 54. Luck versus Manning. Great showdown here.
Yeah. What do you think happens there? Is it the old guard or the new guard?
Well, I tell you what, man. They hooked up this year already, and it didn't seem like Indianapolis was fazed at all by Denver, and they weren't intimidated. But you know what? Indianapolis did have to play catch-up ball.
Yep.
So on this game, I don't like it. I mean, as a spectator, I would watch it, but
Sure.
I'm not going to play it. I think it could go either way here. You could see Luck crumble down. I mean, face it, man. Denver's last couple games, they haven't looked sharp. Indianapolis, a regular season, they weren't ending the season on a big note here. And I know, I know that Luck and Manning are going to toss the ball around. If anything on this, I'm looking at this one being over on the 54. And just sit back and watch two teams score is my prediction on this one.
Sure.
Don't buy into picking a team here -7 or +7. Let's shy away from that one. Now, this is Dallas and Green Bay. It's interesting because, like I said, the total on this one is 53.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see this as a 53. I definitely see this as an under.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this one being a 21-13 type of game here, or 24-13 type of game. I don't see both teams going in the 20s on this one at all.
Especially with the weather. I mean, there's a lot of factors there.
The weather's going to be unreal here, and I just don't see the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not going to be a type of team that likes cold weather. And who the fuck is to say is Green Bay likes cold weather? I mean,
I don't
come
think
on.
any of these guys.
No.
I mean, these guys spend a lot of the season there, but these guys aren't from Green Bay. They're from everywhere, and so they hate the cold as much as everybody else fucking hates the cold.
I mean, what are you going to do? Practice in a fucking cooler all week, getting ready for this? Yeah, you just can't.
I think it is going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at this one being a 24-13, 21-17 type of game here. I like Dallas in this one, my friends. I like Dallas to win outright. If you get a money line parlay on this or money line, take Dallas on this one. Take Dallas in the points. It's went from 6.5 to 6 right now. And you know what? I'm leaning towards the under on this one as well. 53. I don't see 53. That's a big margin right there. I don't see that number being hit.
I completely agree.
Our other game here is Carolina taking on Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle -11. I just don't see Carolina hanging in here. I think eventually it's all going to be worn out. On the first quarter, you're going to say, wow, Carolina's hanging in there tough. But you know what? It's going to be a wear and tear type. It's going to be like a boxer, a heavyweight. Just he's winning these rounds slowly. Next thing, by the 8th or 9th round, he opens up. I'm looking at Seattle winning this one 35-14, 35-17 type of game here. I definitely see Seattle holding par on this one. And they win this one pretty easily. By the end of the third quarter, it's decided.
So I don't mean to stop you in the middle of the predictions here, but I got to ask you, Cam Newton, what do you think? I'm hearing I'm hearing half the analysts out there say the guy, he and his style of quarterback play is the future of the NFL, and then I see the other half, which I happen to side with more, that he's he's not what everyone would hope he would be.
He's a hard player to read, man. Yeah. I mean, you see him, he comes out, he fires the ball around, he tosses it around really good, and there's times when Carolina comes out really flat and you don't know what the hell you're getting. And I think Seattle, with the defense and playing at home, I think you're going to see that Cam Newton appear this week. I just don't see Cam playing at home and getting all pumped up and with that big smile on his face. He's a good kid. I love Cam Newton.
He's amazing athlete.
Damn, I mean, the guy gets hit in a car accident, okay? Breaks a couple vertebrae, and he refuses to take pain medication.
Yeah,
I mean, the kid's all around a good player and a good person. So, on that note, I got to still stick with Seattle, -11. Russell Wilson's too much on this one. But I definitely like the over on this one, too, 39.5. I definitely think that's going to go over on that one. Our next big play here is Baltimore at New England. I think -7 is too much here for New England. I definitely like New England to win this game. If you're going to play moneyline parlay, if you're going to bet your guy or bet Vegas or whatever, I think New England is the right play on it. But I just don't see a -7. I'll take the points here. I like Baltimore +7. I'm looking at this one being a 34-32 type of game, a lot closer than what Vegas has got this one at -7.
I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
You got Joe Flacco. He's playing good
He's
now.
hot.
I mean, these guys are playing good. So you know what? Bottom line on this one, I'm gonna say 34-32 win New England, but Baltimore covers the 7 on this one.
Yep.
So that's what I got on my plays here. And you know what, folks? don't be shy to look at some future plays in like hockey or basketball, football. Right now, you're winding down, so you're not going to get great odds on these teams. But I'm telling you right now, if you look at basketball, I got a basketball play right now. If you find a casino, or if you're a South American, if you like Ocho.com, if you're in Mexico, look at a team like Memphis Grizzlies here at 18-1. They're out front in the West, and Jesus Christ, how can you pass up a 18-1? So it's not a sexy play. Who the fuck cares? 18-1. That'll make it sexy enough, isn't it?
Hey,
Don't be that. Do not be that bitch that turns down $975 million.
Yeah, she's that's the problem. Is that there are a lot of those on both sides of the aisle, men and women, who are every day of their life. Yeah. If it's not actually $975 million, it's turning down stuff because it's not sexy. Because it's not exciting.
Screw that.
It's
I'll make it sexy. Hey, I turned a 40-1 horse that looked like the horses that the Stooges were on top of, and I made that sexy. So, whatever. And then
that's what's sexy to me.
Hey, what's this shit about my Tesla car? The Tesla owner.
Oh, Elon Musk. Yeah, did you see the story?
No, you were telling me a little bit about it before we went into the show.
So this guy, he never ceases to amaze me. I mean, his story is just amazing anyway. The guy is one of the original founders of PayPal. He walks away with all this money, and decides to invest in, the electric car thing, space thing. Ends up strapped again for cash after hundreds of millions of dollars invested in these things. He's having to live off his brother just to to make the payroll at SpaceX and then make the payroll at Tesla. This guy obviously now is
he's the CEO of Tesla.
He's the CEO. Yeah, he's the CEO of Tesla.
I fucking own a Tesla. What are you talking about here?
Well, he now has announced as of today that in the next few months he's going to launch it. Or he's going to launch the plans for a ship that's going to transport materials and us up to Mars, to colonize Mars.
You mean to fucking tell me I bought a car off a wacko here?
Off a wacko who also owns a spaceship company and an electric car company. He's. I mean, this is the legitimate thing. He put out a legitimate release that he's. That they have the blueprints together and the schematics together of a ship that's going to haul materials and colonists, as they call it, to Mars. This guy. So that's your Tesla owner.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I tell you what, that launches us off to another day here, my friend. Oh, I've had a great show with you.
It's been awesome.
And my fans, tell our fans again how they can help us out on this podcast here.
Yeah, so in the iTunes store, the podcast store, directly under this area that you're listening to the podcast right now, there's a section for comments. So go to the comments, say, hey, I think you guys are right. Say you're full of shit. Whatever it is, engage with us. Write a comment. Ask us a question. Leave your email address, and we will return a reply to you, and we'll read your email on the air. Whatever it is.
Can they also get a hold of us at Ochoman at Ochoman.com, or is that up and running yet?
Ochoman at Ochoman.com is up and absolutely.
Beautiful.
Email us there. Visit us on the website, Ochoman.com. On Facebook, Ochoman.
And you know what? On that note, Chris, whatever games you guys out there that would like to know about down the line, fucking give them to me.
Post it in the podcast or in the comments area. Well, let us hear the games you want. If you got some questions about the Ocho Man,
games, golfers, whatever you want, man. We got that information. I've been doing really good with this. My success rate is really good right now. I got picks and everything, even including horses, and I've got a syndication tip sheet right now that's out there for a racetrack. I mean, the Ocho Man's on top of everything, my friends.
He's in fuego.
Yeah. Just get in touch with us. Listen to our show. It was great working with you, Chris. My friends out there, listen to Ocho Man. Ocho Man Behind the 8 Ball is out of here.
It ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on!
You're listening to The Ochoman, Behind the Eight Ball, only on Ignotainment.